Hey guys, it's Christy here, back with another episode of Tangle Tower. Last time we did this side of the house, so this time we're gonna go over here. Start working on this side of the house. Ooh.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
They are pretty.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Inside the horn and on the ground below are various shards of cracked glass. I just remembered, I'll come back to this. Before I forget again. I realized upon editing the last video that well actually 2 videos ago, because the last one was all one big recording. I forgot to click on this thing.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
It plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's a noticeable crack running through it, all the way from the horn down to the tape deck. Weird.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, sure it is. Pink.
Oh. The cassette tape has a crack down the middle. There's a handwritten message on the label, to Freya.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Can we? Ooh. Ooh, okay, cool. Will this work? Because it's broken. Oh.
It's piano music.
Yeah, so I have a feeling we're gonna ask that lady that we just saw about it. It's a recording of piano music. It plays for a short while before stopping. It sounds like my lo-fi playlist. It's so pretty. It's so calming. Alright, let's switch over this one. This is the opposite.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
That's upsetting. This is the exact opposite. Okay. So my guess is we're gonna find more of those. Alright, back to the piano room. Or music room, technically.
Old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books. 4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
That looks like more than 25 to me.
Alright, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
I don't know, this room's pretty peaceful.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty. So I'm guessing nobody.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor. There's a faded mural on the wall.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
And he's not gonna tell her. I do. Okay. I think I clicked on everything.
Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah.
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
What's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
I don't know why, but her voice doesn't sound like what I thought it would sound like. Which is weird, because I've played this game before, so you would think that I would have remembered her voice, but anyway.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
That's totally valid. I wouldn't either.
3.5 hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way, so I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
So if you didn't remember from before, but Fifi thought Poppy ignored her the whole day. So now we're getting from Poppy that she forgot. Anyway.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. So now I also want to... I guess I talked about waiting until I had everything to ask them about stuff, but I realized that then if I do that, then I'm going to be asked... It's just going to be a lot of talking to people all at once. So I think I am going to go ahead and start asking them about things. But I'm going to jump to asking her about the cracked tape first, because I have a feeling that she made this.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Well, that's not what I thought. I was thinking... I mean, obviously, Freya owned it. I was thinking that she made the music on it. Alright, well, I guess since I started from this way, I'll go this way. I don't know.
It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Okay.
Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano. Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh. Never seen him use it.
So are we just carrying that around in our pocket, or do we have, like, a camera that we, like, you know, I assume we took a picture, because obviously we aren't carrying this around in our pocket. Or the gramophone, so okay.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No? Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think? Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just... Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
At least you know she would be honest about it.
That belongs to Flora, I think.
Okay.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable.
There's,
Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that? I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
That is a valid question. Honestly, I was kind of questioning it anyway, because it does make the whole room feel really ominous. And her bedroom's already kind of ominous.
Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff.
Okay.
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do.
So she's an oil painter. Just gonna put that out there. I mean, it's kind of... I wouldn't imagine it would be acrylics, because I don't know what time period this is, but you definitely can't do that with acrylics. The stuff you don't use will be dry before you get to it.
When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything. Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you?
So you think it's a red herring?
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
At least it's obvious when she doesn't know anything about something.
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy. There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
So, like, she was caught off guard, right? Because what she's saying is Freya didn't fight it. She was dead before she even had a chance to think about it.
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
Mm-hmm. 3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
Oof.
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the Fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
Okay.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Alright. Whoa. Is that a seance circle, or is that just a decoration?
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye.
Yeah, it is an eye. Yeah, it's not a seance circle, but it is really creepy.
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing.
This is a cool light.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Okay. Oh, there's a rose.
A single red rose. How very traditional.
Yeah, weird.
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles.
That looks like 4 to me.
Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
Oh wait, there's more over here.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
That's what I was gonna say, but I had a feeling she was gonna say it too.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
I like the bed, it's cool.
Sheet music. Presumably for piano.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
It's a clue! It's gonna be a clue to a puzzle somewhere! The sheet music has been framed and is decorated with delicate, old-fashioned illustrations. Cute.
A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Is this the same? It's the same as the other side. Interesting.
I guess we'll come back later.
Alright, I'm gonna address the obvious thing in the room now, which is this weird clock thing.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
It's only ticking back and forth, though, not actually... Oh. Oh, goodness. Do I just need to, like, line them up? Oh, great, I messed this up. Is that what I was supposed to do?
I did it. What do I win?
Not bad. What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Part of a photograph.
She used to have blonde hair? The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. The girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. The rest of the photo shows Fifi and Freya. It was hidden in Freya's room. Yeah.
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Yeah. That and the new photo. Ooh, we got a, like, new symbol. Because we got a suspicion. This is the first suspicion.
I need to
we got.
confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
You used to like this color.
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
That would be this.
Let's take a closer look at this.
What's the connection between these two clues? Well, I mean... Okay.
The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
That is not me.
Yeah, it is. I'll prove it.
Oh.
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends. Why'd you tear it up? And then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore?
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Hold on. This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
Okay. I think it is that simple. I don't think that it has really any relevance, but it is interesting nonetheless. I don't think that she ripped the photo because she hates them, because it sounded like she's still friends with them, and I don't think it has anything to do with her being the murderer. Ah. Weird bird lady. Ooh.
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
My little writing desk. It's kinda cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Suspicious. Although they're not counting as it a clue. Birds.
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
That's true. It's very annoying. If you're putting your hair into two pigtails, it's very annoying if one is clearly weighs more than the other.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage. Okay. Not sure why that's the clue, but okay.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Can't be bothered with all 4 syllables of her own name.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz Fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Fitz? I thought Fitz and Poppy were a thing. What?
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
This lady's weird.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Okay.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my Fitz, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest Pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Your voice says otherwise, but okay.
Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Interesting.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her.
This chick does not. I mean, I know it's like she's not really connected to the other side of the family. But she doesn't seem, like, upset at all about the fact that there's been a murder here.
Oh, that's rather sad.
Except for that part.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Okay.
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
A little bit.
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
That was very much the, I don't want to talk about this, yes.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one? Well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
So it is now. So it was extinct, but it's not extinct, but then it is extinct again.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Aww.
Oh yes, adorable.
You don't seem to think so.
How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene. Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? I thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
She really doesn't like Poppy, does she?
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea. I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Okay.
We can get
Rude.
into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
Sure. Ooh. The flower looks like her.
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
A brightly colored flower with an unusual shape. It looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot also looks fresh and moist. It's also an unusual blue color.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Oh.
Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
I have no idea what the combination is to this one, so I'll have to... Unless it's like a color thing? I might come back to this
Just
one.
gonna rest my brain.
A little bedtime reading?
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Does it feel warm over here, or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
Weird.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious. Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. This is the fanciest room so far.
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude.
Alright, well, I don't think I have the solution to this bird puzzle yet, or at least I don't know what it is. So I think we're gonna call it there for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!